Mark, Guitar Guy back. We're going to break down Seal, that fantastic song, Crazy. I felt like finishing on an E major. Hey, let's get into it. Let's get straight into it with some cool chord shapes that are going to help you do this song Crazy. Now, initially we did the intro. Now, the intro, it's pretty much amazing as it is, just using those little chord shapes, because we've got those ringing notes, which creates all that space with the intro, okay? So that's already been covered in the basic thing. With the right hand, we can do some cool stuff with that, but we'll look at that later. It's more of a percussive thing, which we cover with a lot of the other things we do. Let's get into doing some cool stuff, though, with the rest of the chords, which is the chorus of the song, okay? So we've got a C, we've got a G, we've got a D, and an A, okay? There's so many different ways we can do this. Now, I have had a comment that's saying, why do we need to do so many different ways of doing C? Well, it's cool to have another option. You don't need to do all these options, okay? If you just have one that you like, just use that. I mean, it's cool to have, other than just a C, it's nice to have like a C add 9 and just do that instead. For some reason, it's, people get a bit upset because they have to learn more than one chord. You don't have to. But I think it's nicer to have more variety, especially as you get on with your chords. And like when I'm learning piano, and instead of just doing a C, I'm not like, why not do like a C blah 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 flashy note version? And it just sounds so much nicer to my ears, and it makes me play more. And that's what I want you to do, is play more. If you're playing and sounding professional straight away, then that's got to be a good thing. So it's not so mystifying. So, first chord, C. Let's do C add 9 instead of C, normal C. So C add 9, here it is here. Nothing on the top string, we've got 3, 2, 0, 3, 3, okay? That's one option. We can go from there to a G, I'll come back to that in a second. Normal G, but I like to add my first finger to make it basically a D with a G bass, okay? Now this chord shape is a little bit different. So there's a G. All we're doing is bringing our first finger down off that note on the 2nd fret on the 5th string. We're bringing it down to the 3rd string on the 2nd fret. So we end up with, from the top, we end up with a G, so 3, nothing. The next note is muted, by the way. My 2nd finger is coming on an angle and it's stopping the A string or the 5th string from ringing. That's what we want, because otherwise it'll cloud. You'll hear that note coming through. You just want to come down. I'm just making the slightest adjustment with my fingers, rolling them over slightly. My thumb comes up a little bit higher. All of a sudden, that note is no longer there. So it's 3, nothing, we'll cross, 0, 2, 3, 3. Okay, that sounds a bit bizarre if you're used to normal chords or a G. Then that one, that extra note might throw you a little bit, but to my ears, it's really pretty. So we've got C add 9, real easy change to the G, real easy, but we can add our first finger down the bottom there, and now to a D. Now to a D suspended 2, okay? So instead of a D with the bottom finger on, okay, with your 2nd finger on the bottom note, we're going to lift that off and make it open. So the notes for that are from the D string, from the 4th string, 0, 2, 3, 0. Okay, D suspended 2 to me is much more interesting. And then instead of just doing an A, we're going to do an A suspended 2. Okay, so A suspended 2 is just an A of 3-fingered A. Lift the bottom finger off. That makes that 2nd string go from 2 to 0. So you end up with, from the 5th string down, 0, 2, 2, 0, 0. Okay, nothing on the top string, remember? And it makes the whole chord, all the chords sort of have a familiarity, because all the chords are sharing notes. Okay, can you hear the difference there? Now I'm going to do 4 chords, normal C, D, okay? C to G. Sounds fine, sounds fine, sounds fine. Now I'll do it with the slightly different chords. So C add 9. A little bit more mysterious sounding to me. To me, it takes you to a slightly different place just by hearing those chords. So there's one version. We'll do one more version of these chords. This is going up the neck a little bit more, okay? So now we're going to do a C chord up on the guitar a bit further. Basically, we're doing the same shape we did at the E, okay, the first one, exactly the same shape, but at the C, which is the 3rd fret. Exactly the same chord. So from that, nothing on the top string. 3, 5, 5, 0, 0. Okay, then we go above that. So it's basically the bottom half, the top half of a C bar chord. We're just doing it with open strings. Same with the G. So instead of doing a G bar chord, we do a G, but we lift the bottom half so we have open strings. So the notes for that will be 3, 5, 5, 4, 0, 0. And then the same for the D. The D, so the D would normally be there. We're going to do a D from the 5th fret, from nothing on the top string, 5, 7, 7, 0, 0. And then A, we can go straight above and do the A, which is the same as the G shape, it's just 2 frets higher. There was the G shape, and we're doing the same thing. We're lifting, you can't quite see that properly, but I'm just lifting the bottom half of my bar so that the bottom 2 strings are open, they're not being played. Okay, so go back through that again. So we've got a C with the bottom strings open, G with the bottom strings open, D with the bottom strings open, A with the bottom strings open. So you could go. And those 2 strings that are ringing, they go the whole way through the song, which is, they go the whole way through it. It makes the whole song have a lightness and kind of a mysterious kind of dark edge to it. So slightly different version of those chords there. Now, to me, that sounds super, uber cool. So that's enough for Monday today. So just get those chords under your belt. Go and pick a version of those 2, or try both if you're up for it. But just get one of them down so you're confident. And you can add these chords at any time, guys. You don't have to always do a C. You can do a C add 9, or we can try the other version of a C. Sometimes they will work beautifully, sometimes maybe not. It's up to you. Just use your ears to decide, and that's the way to do it. I hope you're enjoying these lessons. Please leave a comment below. We're going to come back in a couple of days' time on Wednesday, and we're going to nail the next part of this, which is going to be the rhythm and some of the funky stuff I'm doing in the middle. It's great to see you guys. Mark the Guitar Guy signing off. We'll see you soon.